March 11th, 2024. I am Metro Pearl. It's time to get in the weeds. It's Monday morning. The sun is shining. The stars are gone, and the moon is too. But we are here to hang out with you. Jeremy Lambert's here. Nothing really happened this weekend. It was kind of a boring weekend of wrestling.
It's snowing here. There's no sun. Like, it's Ohio. There's never any sun.
That's fair.
You know. Yeah, it's all snow. It's all snow here. My voice sounds better. Oh, I don't know what's going on. Hold on. Let me take a sip of water.
Yeah, get some of that water in you. That'll help. That lemonade flavored water.
This is actually strawberry.
Oh, okay.
Strawberry flavored is what this is.
It looked like pink lemonade flavor.
Yeah. Like strawberry lemonade. So I mean, kind of close.
Oh, okay. So we're halfway there.
Though. Yeah, it's good.
How we doing? How was your weekend?
I don't know. It was a weekend. Nothing really happened, I guess.
Fair.
The Oscars. Did you watch the Oscars, Joel?
I kept up with it. Tossed
Really?
to the side. Yeah, you know, some dude showed up naked. That was something. Other than that, Oppenheimer won, and De Niro was like, "Oh, sorry, Pacino was just like,
yeah, Pacino ruled.
I got something in my head. It says Oppenheimer," and everyone just like, "What? It's what?"
And no one knew what was going on. It was the most anticlimactic reveal ever. And then they're like, "Oh, okay, I guess Oppenheimer won. Good on it." Yeah, we watched the Oscars. I hadn't seen any of those movies outside of Barbie movie. Watched Barbie movie. Did that on Friday night. I don't know. We watched Barbie movie. I think it was Thursday.
It would have been Thursday because Friday was there were a few shows on at one time.
Days don't exist anymore. You know what I mean?
That is true. Time's a flat circle.
Yeah. Thursday night, we watched the Barbie movie. That was a good movie. I like that. I like the Ken song. That should have won, but it didn't. You know, Billie Eilish won instead. That was the only movie that I'd seen that had been nominated was the Barbie movie. That was good. And then last night after the Oscars, watched Fast and Furious because of course.
Palate cleanser, of course.
The true, best picture, Fast and Furious. The original, the first one, by the way. The first one.
The Rock was on the Oscars. Bad Bunny was on the Oscars. Wrestling showed out on the Oscars, man.
Wrestling's everywhere,
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. It's not on SmackDown. Can't find any wrestling there.
But God forbid you mention it on the internet and people just get weird as hell. I said it on my Twitter. I was like, I don't get paid enough to argue, so I just don't. I've given that up. Ain't no reason.
Can't find wrestling on SmackDown. Good,
You shouldn't. Wrestling is a soap opera. Remember what Sheamus said? You want soap opera. And then he deactivated his Twitter like a smart dude.
We talked on Friday about The Rock and when it would go on. I was like, you got to put this dude on first because
I warned everybody.
He's not going to hit his mark. He's just not.
We talked about it on Friday. I warned everybody. I was like, you put him on last. He's not going to get it. It's gonna screw everything up. And you were like, no, you got to put him on. You got to put him on first. You got to put him on first. I was like, yeah, you got to put him on first. And then next week they're going to put him on in the middle, and it's going to be a test to see how the crossover goes.
You gotta put him on first, and then underbook. That's what I said on Friday. Just announce 2 matches. What do they got to announce for next week? Bayley and Dakota. And Rey Mysterio returns. That's it.
It was the same thing this past week, though.
Good. That's all you should announce. Announce 2 things. Maybe, I don't know, maybe 3. But don't announce anything, honestly. People are there for Rock, Roman, Cody, Seth. They're already in the building, right? They're already in the building. So announce that. And then once they get there, just book the rest of the show around that. That way nothing gets cut and then you're done. No one is expecting long matches or anything. Don't announce anything else for SmackDown. Don't announce anything. You got Bayley and Dakota and you got Rey Mysterio returns, which could be anything. It could be a match. It could be an appearance. It's just Rey Mysterio returns. That's all you got to announce. Let The Rock do his thing. Let him go an hour if he needs to go an hour. Do Bayley and Dakota. You don't want to cut any time off of that. Do Rey. And then whatever other time you got, fill in the gaps there. Rock should also like, be a professional and not do 40 minutes, but like that's not gonna.
It's not his fault. It's not his fault that the entrances take 8 to 9 minutes each. It's not his fault.
They started those entrances at 9:35, and I'm like, they're not gonna say anything until 9:45, and that's exactly what happened. I think the first words came out at 9:44.
So this is the same shit that you guys were going on, not you specifically, but people were just like, I mentioned it last week or 2 weeks ago, I guess it was now, where The Rock came out and it was 10 minutes until he said anything on the broadcast. And people were just like, man, why are you hating on the show? I'm just like, don't worry, you'll see. And then they did the 40-minute promo and yada yada. We talked about it. We did it again this week. They just had a hard out that they couldn't hit.
They had the graphic show up when Rock is calling Cody a mistake. It showed for me. I saw it that, Cody slaps him and everything, but apparently they cut off in some markets. So hilarious.
I was gonna ask because I'm in Canada. So for those who don't know, the reason why they cut out for Fox affiliate is because there is a hard out, and the hard out is like 9:58 if you're on the East Coast. So basically 58 minutes and like 57 seconds left in the broadcast. So like you have to be out a minute and a few seconds short. Otherwise you're out. Like you're not gonna get it. I saw it because I'm in Canada, so it's on Sportsnet, and the ending was very much like an Attitude Era type of finish where it was supposed to be Cody slaps The Rock and The Rock sells, and then maybe they just stare at each other and it's a tense moment to go off the air. You wonder what happens next in the arena, and they either do a video showing an exclusive after the show or they don't. Regardless, they didn't hit that in multiple Fox markets, and that's not great. I also watched the show on Saturday night because I was covering Sacrifice, TNA Sacrifice. But yeah, that was a hell of a finish if you actually got to see it all.
Hilarious. When that graphic came up, the cryon of like, hey, show's over, and Rock hadn't like said anything. I was like, oh boy, are they just gonna go to black here? What are we gonna do? But it stayed on for me. And so I got to see the slap, and then it cut right after the slap. I was like, all right, I guess that was worth, sticking around. I like The Rock. I like him as Hollywood Rock. Listen to the last round, meathead. He's saying the same shit he's already said. Like, he keeps repeating himself. This match is about family. Let The Rock tell you that this match is about family. You told us once, Rock. We heard you.
Well, no, this is the, I mentioned this on Twitter. I sent to creators. It was just like a general creator tweet. I was saying, hey, watch your ums and ahs. If you're on the air and you're, pardon?
That was a shot at me.
It was a shot at a lot of people, apparently, because they hopefully in jest. I hope everyone understood. I'm trying to help, not hinder your abilities. Anyway, I get some replies that say ums and ahs, and I just replied But anyway, The Rock is from the school of just re-saying his comment to navigate the ums and ahs, and it reinforces his point. The problem is it's so in his head that he can't do it any other way. That's how The Rock speaks. That's not how Dwayne speaks. That's how The Rock speaks.
His 20-minute promo on social media, I think this one was only 10, where he's at the rodeo, like he's Garth Brooks, ruled. Absolutely ruled.
In his Louis Vuitton cowboy hat. It was legitimately a Louis Vuitton cowboy hat.
Just amazing. Call that dog Pharaoh. You call him shithead. It's from the movie The Jerk, everybody.
He's just gonna, he's Hollywood Rock in every sense of the word. He's gonna come out. He's gonna have his new Willie Nelson guitar next week. Solo Sikoa is gonna be on bass, and they're just gonna have a hell of a time. Bloodline band featuring The Rock, and it's gonna be great. And it's Memphis, so what country star can come out in Memphis and like do a gimmick show thing with The Rock? Who can The Rock bring on to play guitar with him?
I don't know. There's plenty. Look, Blake Shelton. That sounds like someone The Rock would get, right?
They're gonna bring back Jelly Roll.
Who's big in Memphis? I feel like all these people are Nashville. people.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the distance between Memphis and Nashville is not exactly
Honky Tonk Man.
Oh, God forbid. Jeff Valley Drivers is Jeff Jarrett. If anyone's going to cross those lines, it's Jeffrey Jarrett.
Kid Rock's from Memphis. Oh,
sorry to hear that. No, he's Detroit. He lives in Memphis, but he's like Detroit.
Yeah, he is Detroit, but he does Midnight Train to Memphis. That's a good song.
Yeah, I don't know who you can get. Isn't Taylor from not Memphis? Isn't she Nashvilleian?
Nashville. I mean, she's from a Christmas tree farm, in Pennsylvania.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Her and Adam Cole know each other growing up. He's from Lancaster.
Oh, they should. I want Kid Rock there now. WWE Hall of Famer Kid Rock.
No, thank you. I'm okay with that.
Come on.
No.
Singing Midnight Train to Memphis. Muhammad Ali is going into the WWE Hall of Fame, by the way. They just announced that. Good on him.
That's posthumously, I assume. He's been dead for a few years.
Well, yeah, I know. AI Muhammad Ali.
They might do it. This is one where I'm guessing his daughter's going to induct him. They haven't announced anyone, of course, but like this just the first person that comes to mind. Or I guess she'll accept. I don't know who would induct him. My bad.
Yeah, hold on. I'll read the bio. Maybe they'll say.
Yeah, it's from Variety.
Who it's gonna be. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't say who it might be. Yeah, good on Muhammad Ali. He's in the new 2K game, which I've yet to play.
Yeah, I haven't either, but a bunch of people did, and they said it's pretty fun, but very similar to the last one, which doesn't surprise me at all.
That's all of them, He will be inducted by his widow, Lonnie Ali. So
inducted by okay, that's interesting.
There you go.
Listen, first WrestleMania, he was there, had himself his referee spot. Good on Ali. Good to see him get his flowers. Could have sworn he was already in, but I guess I'm wrong.
The Rock should induct him and just speak for 2 hours.
No, that's what you get Hillbilly Jim to do.
I guess the Rock's probably going to induct. Apparently, like, isn't his mom going in the Hall of Fame? Wasn't that the big rumor?
Well, is Rocky already in? Rocky Johnson?
I think so.
Okay, so yeah, it could be her. But either way, like Rock will get a moment, and they'll probably do a little tease for the next night. They've only done that like once in WrestleMania Hall of Fame crossover history. I'm not being facetious. I think they've only done that once, and that was when Hogan went in, and they had a moment with Hogan and. Oh God, was it Vince? May have been something. They did something where they did a crossover moment for a match that was coming up, and they sold the match through the Hall of Fame. Maybe it was Piper. No, it wasn't. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They haven't done that in a while, so maybe they'll do it this time. 20 minutes of wrestling at the Hall of Fame.
There's no wrestling at the Hall of Fame.
Well, it depends who you ask.
I guess so. They should start fights at the Hall of Fame. I mean, they did.
I was gonna say, talk to FTR. They've done it before.
Yeah.
They didn't start it, but they sure should finish.
They did finish it. Yeah, they did finish that fight.
It was Cash who knocked the guy out, right?
Yeah, Cash. Give him the old noogie punch there.
Given what would happen last year, that makes entirely too much sense.
Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah, that's okay. Good. Listen, it's nice to see Muhammad Ali getting his flowers here. It's fine. He was a part of WWE history, first WrestleMania, so that's good. And yeah, we'll see who takes it. We'll see who gets the next induction or the next inductee moniker. Could be The Rock's mom. Who knows?
I mean, that list leaked. Seems like it's pretty accurate based on how things are going.
I have not seen a leaked list, but I also haven't been looking.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I will accept a leaked list if somebody sends it to me. I can also look it up if I wanted to.
Yeah, you can Google. Google's your friend, Joel.
Yeah, I'm having a hard enough time trying to get the proper results for the TV tapings in Windsor for TNA this past weekend.
Those didn't come out.
No, I have some from some Facebook people, and I asked others to help me out. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
All right,
we will just leave it at that. But yeah, we'll see. Listen, I'm not going to be at TNA this week, but I will be at Collision on Saturday. So I got that going for me. Well, I'm waiting for my confirmation, but I'm going to Ottawa, so I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. Tell me about it. My plan is to go to Collision on Saturday. By the way, the first thing I thought about was poor Mercedes Moné. It was going to debut in Boston, and then they're going to be like, okay, first stop Boston, next stop Ottawa, Canada.
Is she?
I don't think she will. I mean, if they do something with Serena Deeb, then maybe, but I doubt it. I think they maybe just start playing it off at Dynamite in Toronto, or she just doesn't show up for a week after they debut her, which I hope they do not do it like that.
Was Serena on the show on Saturday?
She was not, unless there was a promo that I completely missed because I watched Collision last night.
If they're doing something with Serena, they had a weird way of kind of cooling that down, because she was on the Collision not this past week, but the previous week.
Yeah, and
one before Revolution.
Yeah,
but then you had Revolution, you had Dynamite, you had Collision, no Serena. It's like, if you're gonna like build this, I don't know, you probably should have had her on the show to build it the week before like the shows here. Weird.
I don't disagree. I think, you know what? I don't even know at this point, because at this point, if they bring out Mercedes at Big Business, I kind of like not knowing what they're going to do immediately. I also like the idea that they're going to kind of wait on what her first match is going to be. I would assume they're going to run her first match at Dynasty, because
I would assume so too. But again, like if it's going to be Serena, then I would have at least kept Serena on television. I probably would have had her pick up a couple victories and then continue to cut the final boss promo. Like, I don't know, that would have been my thought. Like, you want your first match to have, that's what they did with Darby, right? Darby, dropped the best in the world line, and they hinted around it enough. And then when Punk finally came out, all right, we knew Darby was kind of that first guy. Would have at least kept Serena on television to make it, to hint at it a little bit more.
Yeah, I see why Soulball being like, if Serena Deeb has a match scheduled for Dynamite, and she doesn't, but if they do schedule one, then I think it would be pretty safe to say that that would be the beginning of the debut. Maybe.
Sure.
I wouldn't pair her with Deonna, by the way. Mercedes should be a standalone presentation to start, because she is just, no offense to Deonna Purrazzo. I like what she's doing with Toni Storm, but it's a different, you're debuting on different levels when it comes to fandom at this point.
So Henry's saying Willow's the first feud. Willow was the one that injured her.
Yeah,
maybe.
Then you got to turn Willow and immediately bring out Mercedes. That's the one thing where I'm like, I would rather slow burn a Willow and Mercedes match, because Willow's still firmly a babyface until something happens. And I know there's been some teasing on the background and in some promos, but like, to me, I would want to cement that. Is Mercedes going to come to Riho's aid because Riho is supremely over and then they become friends? You could do that. Riho's always over with AEW crowds, so you could do it at least just as a, this is my friend and you are a mean person. But it's, I get it. It's a bit of a stretch. I'm just kind of playing out in my head how you could do it.
See, I think the Serena stuff was good, honestly. I do. I think Serena being on there, being like, I'm the final boss, beating the shit out of these women. Like, I think that was good. The problem is they just dropped it over the last week. The most important week, because it's the final week before the build here. Like, I think they had a good, I'm going to repeat myself. I think they had a good direction with Serena Deeb. No idea why they decided over this last week. I don't know if it's no longer the direction, but I don't know why they just decided to drop that portion of it. Now, now we are trying to like talk ourselves into, oh, what are they going to do here? What are they like? Do they go this way? Do they go that way? I don't know. I think the Serena stuff was good, but now because they haven't mentioned it over the last week, it does feel like they've dropped it. And I don't know if that's a mistake. I guess we'll see on Wednesday on how they do it. Maybe she just comes out at the very beginning and they just do the CM Punk thing. That's it.
Yeah. A woman called Mone. She does this. She does that.
So Jeff Valley Driver saying there's no Saturday Collision 2 weeks straight. That might be, but they did the Serena thing on the first Collision though. So that, I don't feel like that holds a whole lot of weight. You can tape a promo. Otherwise, you can tape a promo from her house.
Also, like, if you're only available on weekends, I probably wouldn't be pushing for a main event type of slot. I don't know. It's weird that the caveat is I only work weekends, brother. That feels weird to me, but it's not my company. It's just like I would be looking, being like, but what if I need you on a Wednesday? Yeah, you can go and film a promo, but like, can I guarantee that it's going to be TV broadcast quality, or is it going to be selfie cam quality and it's not going to be great? Like, it's tough. It's tough to put together something like that if you're only available to work a Saturday show.
Well, they're going to debut Mercedes on a Wednesday, so you would think Serena would be able to work the Wednesday.
That's kind of what I'm trying to say, right? And that's why if they're doing Deeb as the first potential opponent, then going to Ottawa on a Saturday feels a little strange because, yeah. And like, no, it's going to be attendance wise, it's going to be what it's going to be. And like I see there's argument in the chat, like you should just flat out be announcing that she's there. They've done literally everything but tell you that she's coming. They haven't hit it on the head the same way that they did with Punk, like Jeremy said. But like, come on, they're calling it big business. They're calling it Boston. They're literally like putting writing in every way possible.
They've done enough to where it's the same thing they've done with Punk. Maybe they did a little bit more with Punk, because you had the Elite making like references with Kenny wearing the Cookie Monster shirt. You had Darby doing the best in the world. You had a little bit more with Punk. I think one thing that they've kind of missed, and I don't even say missed, one thing that more than one thing, stuff that's gotten in the way. They had to do Sting's last match. That took up, that overshadowed a lot. And then they did Okada's debut. And so that became an overshadow. And now they're doing Mercedes, which is
Osprey
fine
as well. Sorry,
yeah, and
Osprey too.
Yeah, so like that is taken away from it a little. I think that Chi-Town Spurs actually like kind of does nail it. Like, I don't know if he's talking about us. Like, the difference is Punk's first wrestling show at 7 years. Mercedes come back after 9 months. Like, I don't think we're making I guess we kind of are making the
but there's
comparison.
also there's a third part to this, and that is Punk doesn't have an entire army of stands behind him. The same way that Mercedes, it's not the same. I'm sorry, the 7 years versus the 9 months, there is a recency bias, and there is a younger demographic that, I'm gonna stand on that. There is a younger
dude.
No, so I was about to call her Sasha. I call her Mercedes. There is a younger and just more intense demographic that is for Mercedes.
Joel,
I understand that there's a Punk demographic. It's not the same. It's not.
Yeah. Kate said they chanted for CM Punk for 7 years. This man was getting chants
live in the arenas. They did. I'm talking about the online. That AEW
no, you're wrong here.
I disagree.
You're wrong here. You're way, way wrong.
You're right. Twitter people are not real, but they are the ones who are en masse posting the ticket information, like the updates on the tickets before WrestleTick does. Like you gotta understand how some of these people operate, and it's wild.
No, you're wrong on this. I think Punk has a way bigger fan base. Maybe they're honestly like they're just as online, but they're also not as online. Like, Punk fills buildings. This is not a knock on Mercedes. Not a knock at all. This is not as big as CM Punk. It's just not. I don't associate her with Boston the same way Punk is associated with Chicago. There's a reason why every CM Punk return is in Chicago. Like, I don't associate it the same way. Now, Punk has an online fan base, and I think that online fan base is also way offline as well. There's a reason Punk sold out the United Center like this, and Mercedes is, they're going to do 9,000, 8,000, which is really good. This is not a knock on like, oh, they overshot their target here. No, this is a good draw for them. Punk fans are different, man. Punk fans are different. Nah, you're wrong on this. The chat's letting you know you're wrong on this.
I mean, believe me, I haven't upset the crew once. I had one dork try to be like, "Oh, he's a Sasha hater," and I was like, "No, you just took literally one thing I said one time and decided to make it your entire personality. So good luck to you." But other than that, no. I think people know how I feel. I don't love stan culture any person. I don't care who you're standing. It's weird to me. Just let people be people. But that's just in response to like, oh, you said the crew come after. No, I mean, haven't. There are a lot of dorks out there. A lot of dorks out there.
Sure, you're way wrong on the punk fan culture, though. My mentions, I can attest to this. If I just put like, oh, Mercedes, the bit of like, when you really think about it, so and so was right. I said this about Hangman Page.
Problem is, you can't do that with Mercedes because the person that you go on the opposite side of is no, can't do that.
Yeah, can't really do that. I guess Charlotte Flair, but like Charlotte Flair didn't get nearly the backlash that a Hangman Page got. Even Mercedes didn't get nearly the engagement that just CM Punk was right got. I got reporters in my DMs being like, CM Punk was right. I agree.
Name and shame, Jeremy Lambert. Name and shame. Who was right?
I'm not gonna shame anybody in this house of wrestling.
Why would you do that? Our house is a very, very, very fine house.
Nah, the CM Punk fans are built different, man. Bless them.
Did you see? Sorry, I'm going off for a second. Did you see the OT period with the Wild and Preds from, I think it was last night?
What?
The Wild. We're talking NHL for a second. Okay. The Wild pulled their goaltender in overtime.
Yeah. I saw this.
And they scored and they won in OT. That was wild. I just wanted to go off on that for a second.
All right, Joel quickly changing the subject because he was wrong.
Listen. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna take the L because I don't think it's that big. But like, no, I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you. I also think that there is, like most conversations like this, is a bit of a middle ground. So who knows? We're gonna find out how things look on Wednesday and Thursday. And we know that the arena's got at least 8,000 coming, which is great. Glad to see it. Want to see bigger houses in AEW, of course. And then we'll see how things kind of go from there. I just want to see positive growth in the AEW sphere. I want to be able to talk about it like we enjoy it, because most of the time,
I don't like any of this shit.
That's fair.
It all sucks.
Pull your goalie in overtime. That's what you're doing.
It all sucks. All right, so how do you debut Mercedes? We'll talk about this on Wednesday.
You have her win the game-winning goal after you pull Serena Deeb in overtime. Sorry, I got my wires crossed for a minute. No, I don't know how you debut. We'll talk about it on Wednesday, I'm sure, because more information will be known, and we'll be on the road to Boss with 2 S's and $. How do you do Ottawa with the $?
I don't think she's showing up.
I don't either.
I don't think she's going to Ottawa at all.
There's a part of me that like doesn't even think she's going to do Toronto, but like,
nah, she'll go to Toronto.
I would like that. They're going to do Cage and Christian 3, which is 4, and that'll be fun. What was in the big case? What was in the big box?
Spike Dudley.
I thought it was a bat with a spike in it.
No, it's Spike Dudley.
It's a plank with a nail.
He kidnapped Spike Dudley and put him in this box. And Christian was like, shit, he killed Spike Dudley. I'm afraid of this man. I just talk about dead fathers. This man killed a father. I don't know if Spike has kids or not.
One has to assume he does.
Like, Christian was definitely afraid of old Copeland, Cope, as he calls himself.
Because that's how you can become a fan, is by genuinely coping. Maybe Sheamus was in there.
Too many limes? What if he had too many limes?
Too many limes.
Christian looked in the box like, that's one too many limes in there. Oh no! Here comes Sheamus.
Oh, it's a shameful thing, lobster head. Then he just runs away.
Limes and lobster heads.
That would be. Oh my god! He just empties it out, and it's just limes and lobster heads, and like 3 people on the internet get it. They would do it too. I mean, that's the tease. You could drop like $signs and all this money, and people will be like, "Oh, it's Okada. Oh, it's Mercedes." But no, Adam Copeland opens up a box, and it's just limes and lobster heads. and like 5 people get it, and that's the biggest debut you got, and I'm all for it.
I mean, that was Copeland's last match in WWE. That was WWE's last, or Sheamus's last match in WWE. He hasn't wrestled since then either. Yeah. Oh, they both ran from the grind to go to AEW and did one last match, and they
believe it.
Both went to AEW.
Can't believe it. Such cowards, laziness. Can't believe that. Hey, by the way, speaking of laziness, it's not lazy to leave a thumbs up on the video. And of course, you can subscribe to us here. Fightful Overbooked. It's sign pointing season. So while you're sign, I'm waiting for it to happen. While you're pointing at that sign and leaving a thumbs up, you can also donate a super chat. Any amount, get your question or statement read on the air. Chi-Town Spurs that kicked us off earlier saying, I know it's been said to death, but it's really great to have an alternative in AEW that will book a ton of wrestling when you get shows like Smackdown. I love The Rock in this role, but 28 minutes?
Too short.
It's too short. You need an hour and a half for this man.
I want the whole show to just be The Rock, just riffing. That's what Friday should be. Let him do the Rock concert. Let him play his guitar with Kid Rock and Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake's a big Memphis guy, right? He's always at the Grizzlies games and stuff. Let him go out there with Justin Timberlake. Say something, say something. That's the only like country song. That album sucked. That song's not bad though. But
he comes out and just says cry and starts singing Cry Me a River.
Then Jack Perry. Jack Perry, by the way, he's gonna beat the shit out of Sonata and the New Japan Cup. Let's go, baby. Now I want The Rock just the whole show.
Listen.
Just be The Rock.
You go to a concert. I'm going to ask y'all right now. You go to a concert. How long is a concert? Let's say it starts at 8 and it runs until 11. Your opening act is about maybe 45. Maybe there's a second opening act if they're a lazy band. That's another 45. There's changeovers. That's about 20 minutes. So now we've covered 90 minutes. Well, if you're going till 11, it's not a 2-hour show. It's a 3-hour show. So let's say it's like a Monday Night Raw. Point is, the headliner gets 90 minutes. Sometimes they get 2 hours. Rock's the headliner, baby. You give him an hour and a half. You give him 2 hours. The entire episode of SmackDown dedicated to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's Bloodline band. And then you debut WWE Speed on Twitter, and that's just SmackDown.
People would be really mad if The Rock got 2 hours. And it's just like, hey, you want your wrestling matches? 5 minutes or less, baby. Here's Bailey and Dakota in a 4-minute and 50-second match.
You know who wouldn't be upset by that? The 2.89 million people that then tune into SmackDown that week because it just built to a crescendo.
Rock's a draw. You can't cut him short. He's got to open the show, go as long as he needs to go. Sorry, you other dorks, you other wrestlers. Sorry that you don't draw as much as The Rock. And that's what he told CM Punk all those years ago. He said, Rock draws more in one night than you draw in a lifetime. Sorry, everybody else on SmackDown. Bobby Lashley, Karrion Kross, and the TikTokers. Too damn bad. Rock's back, baby. Daddy's home. The mana! That's what he does.
He does do that. He's got goosebumps. He wants you to see his goosebumps too.
He's like gearing up for the, he made fun of all the crackheads and stuff. He's got to, come on, let's get the vein going.
He's looking for a vein. Yeah. Oh no. Jeff Valley Driver, by the way, talking about Jack Perry. I think he's going to beat Sonata, by the way. I think
he's going
to get his win back. I think he's going to either I said this on our show. I think he's going to his side of the bracket. I think he's going to the final.
And he might the whole thing.
I think he should go to the New Japan Cup final, but I wouldn't be surprised. I know a lot of people would hate it, but I just think it's possible.
He should win the whole thing. He should beat Naito.
Yep.
Win the title, House of Torture, all the gold.
All of it. I'm looking we got bits over on our Twitch a little while ago because Cyclops is better than Logan loves to do this to us, where he gives us bits, but the bits don't actually show up on my sidebar. I got to find them. It's the worst. Make it better, StreamYard. You're making it worse.
I have it. Do you have it there, Joel? Jesus.
There you go. Mone is a star. I couldn't see it. He goes between both. He uses both accounts. I know what you're doing. Stop it. Donate the $2.40. Mone is a star, but some people overestimate how famous she is to some fans. They believe she's on the level of 1986 Hogan. Can't give super chats, so I'm stuck in Twitch out. Damn it! I didn't read the whole thing before I called you out.
Joel, be nice to our audience.
I'm never nice to our audience. I'm not good at it.
She is 100% a star. No one's on 86 Hogan levels. Let's be honest about things. I think she's the biggest star in the world. I have nothing bad to say about Mercedes Moné.
All right,
/
Robert
Sasha
O'Neill,
Banks.
calm your tits.
I ain't saying nothing bad
Stop it.
about Mercedes Moné, the biggest star in the absolute world. She was in Star Wars. She's such a big star. She goes to wars with the stars, and it's going to draw 3 million people on Wednesday Night Dynamite. Big business.
I disagree about Rock being a hindrance to SmackDown, by the way. Someone said that in the chat. I'm like, ratings will tell you otherwise, but sure. Ratings and the amount of merch money that goes out. I understand. Maybe it's a hindrance to your enjoyment of SmackDown, but from a business standpoint, sorry, bub, it's Rock or nothing at this point.
Jeff Valley Driver does have a question of, do you think she's a bigger star than Becky? They were having that argument on True Heel Heat. I guess the channel.
Who specifically was SP3 having that argument with? Because that's going to dictate whether or not I agree.
I don't know. Where's that? Hold on. Let me message SP3.
On True Heel Heat, and if he's around, let's see how badly he can make these people angry.
I'm just gonna argue with SP3.
I'm sure you will. That's your Tuesday, but you don't talk wrestling on Tuesday.
I don't even care what side he's on. I'm just gonna argue with him. Hold on. Let me message SP3.
Why are you trying to get the goat of SP3?
Do you think Becky or Mercedes is
it was
bigger star? What happened?
It was him and Jimmy Macram.
Oh, that's great.
That's gonna always influence whether or not I'm gonna watch. I wasn't able to watch live this past week.
Okay, so SP3 is saying that Becky is a bigger star than Mercedes. I'm gonna argue with him. That's a good argument.
I know it's a strange argument to have, isn't it?
I'll tell you like my actual thoughts, and then I'm just gonna argue. If SP3 thinks that it's Becky, I'm gonna pick Mercedes for the sake of the argument, and we're gonna go full Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless on this stuff. Oh, SP3 is saying Mercedes is on the same level as Becky. All right, so I'll take Becky's side here.
I mean, you were about to.
Jimmy was saying Becky.
Oh, that doesn't shock me at all.
Yeah. I think it's Becky. It's tough because what are the metrics here? Like, they're both draws to a certain level, but neither of them are like moving big time. Sorry, Becky. Like big time numbers. Like they're moving numbers, but they're not like Cody. They're not like Punk or obviously Rock. But they do well. Yeah, Mercedes not being on television for a while makes it tough as well. If you're just going by Twitter and Instagram, I'd lean towards Mercedes, but like Becky is still
not by much. It's 2.4 to 2.5 million followers on Twitter.
Okay.
For Mercedes. So, Mercedes at 2.552. And then I was about to pull up Becky. Becky was 2.4, but I don't know exactly how much. But I'm going to look that up right now.
All right. SP3 is being a coward and he's not responding to me.
Becky's 2.408. So it's not a huge difference when you get down to it.
Okay.
Becky on TikTok is at 350,000. She's only got 15 uploads, and I don't know if Mercedes is on.
Is Mercedes like even on TikTok? What about Instagram?
I'm trying to find out, but her stupid Instagram is the Mercedes Renato. That's why.
Becky's got, the machine behind her.
She does.
Compared to Mercedes.
She does.
Yeah.
Mercedes Renato has... Why does Social Blade just hates me? So let's just go here. 6 million followers for Mercedes on Instagram.
Okay. And what does Becky have?
6.3 million for Mercedes. And let's look up Becky Lynch. I can't believe I have to do it like that. 5.9. So they're again, it's a little steeper between IG and for those two, but Twitter's very close.
All right. I think it's Becky slightly.
Also, sorry, don't take this the wrong way. the Instagram content that Mercedes drops is very different from what Becky is dropping. If you
Becky's posting pictures of her kids and shit.
Yeah, and that's not what Mercedes is dropping, and again, it's your socials and you promote your stuff, but like there's a big difference between the content being dropped.
I think they're relatively similar in that they're both solid draws. If you did a show AEW Big Time, I don't think you use that. You got to use a theme from that one WrestleMania Big Time.
That's also a song.
Peter Gabriel.
Yeah,
Peter Gabriel did that song, right?
Yeah.
Look at me.
Great song.
Look at me. I think like if you did AEW like Big Time and Becky was off television for 9 months, it might be kind of similar. Maybe a little less. I don't know. That's a tough one. Whatever. Okay. All right. SP3 says, I think Mercedes is a bigger crossover star, but Becky is a bigger wrestling star. I'm just going to send him this link and say, let's argue. Seems
bad.
Let's argue. There we go. I don't even really care, by the way. I don't care who it actually is, but I'm just going to argue with SP3 on this.
I mean, that's kind of what I expect on this program.
Let's see where it goes.
Just for you to argue and get people's goad.
Yeah.
Kind of what you live for.
Let's see where it goes. I don't care about wrestling at all. I want no wrestling.
By the
Absolutely
way,
none.
None. This isn't SP3. What are we doing here? This is not SP3.
Oh.
You're not SP3.
No, I am an In the Weeds viewer, and I've been watching for 43 minutes and 44 minutes now. And ne'er a punch has been thrown. Nor a Canadian destroyer.
Hold on. Fake fan over here. We've been on the air for 42 minutes and counting, not 44.
She watched the pre-show.
What pre-show?
We always have a pre-show.
Oh, did we hire what's his face from Hot 98? Peter Rosenberg.
Joel, Kate has breaking news. Don't cut her off.
I have breaking news. I've been tuned in this entire time, and there have been 0 minutes of wrestling on this show. I just checked my stopwatch, and I checked it again, and I added up all of our segments here, and there has been carry the one. Yeah, I'm confirming that there's been zero minutes of professional wrestling on the show. So I just wanted to come on here and make sure that everybody knew this. I felt it was really important that we interrupted this broadcast to let you guys know 0 minutes of wrestling here on In the Weeds. Back to you.
Joel, we've had no wrestling on this show. I mean, that's good, but I think people like get mad about that.
Do they?
Yeah.
Let them.
Yeah, it's good that we've had no wrestling because wrestling's terrible, but like, yeah, people get mad when you don't have any wrestling on the wrestling show.
Andrew Zarian, I'm well aware of what I mean. They're all hot somethings.
SP3 is going to join us in 10 minutes, and we're just going to yell at each other.
What does he have to? Whatever, it's fine. In this 10 minutes, by the way, I was thinking about something that you actually made into. I know it's a problem. Keeps me up at night when I think. Bryan Danielson. I have a feeling that the next pay-per-view match he's going to win is All In when he beats Nigel McGuinness, and that's the end of August.
Will Ospreay has got to do what's best for business. He's got to do it. He's got to tap out. By the way, I'm going to sound nitpicky. Somebody yelled at me. Not yelled at me, but somebody from like the Observer site. When I did the because Copeland is like Cope Cage 3, and I screenshotted Cage Match, and I'm like, Adam Copeland should use Cage Match. Somebody from the Observer site was like, are we really counting a cash in? Is this what we're doing? And people say I nitpick. I'm like, I don't know, dude. Sure. You say so.
Wait, hold on. Was this someone who works for the site?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, Am I just calling people out today? What an asshole.
Let me put it like this. Did they say that AEW was getting a $5 billion rights increase? Is it
No. Hold on. I'll say who it was. I mean,
was it JJ? Was it JJ?
No.
I just want to see. Was it Andrew Zarian, that coward?
It was Andrew Zarian's. It was Paul Fontaine.
Oh, him. Yeah, okay.
He does the MMA podcast and I guess the Dynamite show.
Sure.
I don't know. Seems like a nice fellow.
Okay. I know the name. That's fine.
He just says, we are seriously considering the cash-in as a separate match, and people say I nitpick. Yes, I'm very nitpicky on this.
That's what we do. That's why we're in the weeds. We do all the hard research, and we discover how wrong wrestlers can be.
It's hilarious when people take me serious on Twitter. Absolutely hilarious. I almost tweeted, by the way, yesterday. I thought better of it to play off of Kate's tweet. I did the tweet of like, there was an hour and 28 minutes of no Bryan Danielson. That ain't for me. I almost did like, there were 59 minutes and 58 seconds of promo time on Collision. That ain't for me. But I thought people would get like really, really mad about that. So I just did the Bryan Danielson bit instead. But yeah, people get so mad. So mad. Just, what are we doing?
And once again, I'm not getting paid for that. So I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to argue. I'm just going to put my.
I'm going to go the opposite direction after Raw tonight. Raw is going to have like, I don't know,
90 minutes of wrestling.
No. Yeah, it's going to have a fair amount. It's got that gauntlet match. Yeah,
that's going to go probably about. Last time they did a gauntlet match on Raw, it went about the first hour with commercials.
Yeah, so the gauntlet match is going to go a while, but I'm going to complain that there was like too much wrestling on Raw. That this gauntlet match should be like 5 minutes.
It should have been Gable going all the way and then Sammy winning at the last spot, but like in 10 minutes. Just a 10-minute Raw match. That's it.
You know what I'd do for this gauntlet match? I don't even fully know who's in it. I'm super up to date on stuff. Right, so it's Ricochet.
Yep.
JD McDonough.
JD McBighead.
Chad Gable.
He's there.
Samuel Zayn.
He's the end.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
And I don't know why.
And Big Bronson Reed.
Yeah, I basically have Chad Gable run through the gamut and then lose to Sami Zayn at the end.
That's
kind of what I'm expecting here.
You can't do that.
Why not? It's going to turn Chad Gable because he went through all the hard work and Sami Zayn gets his spot at WrestleMania.
Why are you turning Gable, though?
Because I ain't turning Sami Zayn.
Here's what you do, Joel. You do all of this, right? You do this big gauntlet match and all this fun. Gauntlet match could have been a GIF. You do the gauntlet match and stuff. You have Chad Gable win, okay? Chad Gable can win it. Everyone's excited. Yeah, Chad Gable, shoosh, thank you. I like Chad Gable. Dominic comes out. Dominic's the last person in this match, and Dominic beats Gable. And we get Dominic and Gunther at WrestleMania.
Hell of a wedding gift.
Big Daddy Dom defeats Gunther at WrestleMania. I think that's the play here.
Big wife guy Dom.
I think that's the play.
Breaking kayfabe, dancing with his mummy. At his wedding.
We should have Dom win this gauntlet match.
Are you just trying to give Alex Pulaski a heart attack?
I like Pulaski. I don't want to.
Clearly not. Look what you're doing. Clearly you have nothing.
It's like chaos.
That's true.
I'm a big House of Torture fan. I like to torture the houses of wrestling. I already made one reference.
It's already been done.
Yeah, sorry. I like to torture houses that like wrestling. If you like wrestling, I'm here to torture you.
Yeah,
I've rebranded as a big House of Torture guy. That's why I'm all in on Jack Perry.
That's fair.
Yeah, Chaos is better now because Okada is out of it. By the way, Okada just beating the shit out of geeks. Awesome.
Yeah, especially that geek John Cruz. Who did he ever beat? I hear he's been with the company for 5 years and doesn't deserve it.
He replied and he's like, I got 2 contracts.
That's not the best part.
Why only 2? He should have more.
3.
Yeah, he should have 3.
He should have at least 3.
The wife was like,
by the way,
have like 5.
I want to put this out there. The guy who actually like put it out there was doing it as a joke. Like he ended up being really good about it, the person who posted it. But like, I just love that some of the replies from like AEW talent have been very funny. But sorry, go ahead. He should have 5, at least 5 contracts.
Serpentico, John Cruz, producer. He's a producer / agent for ROH. A separate contract for just like Chaos Project. I don't even know if that still exists, but like
it doesn't. But there should be residuals.
Yeah. A separate contract for Spanish Announce Project. And then let's just do a separate project for like Nyla Rose harassment. Like he should be paid for as much as Nyla harasses.
He's still doing commentary, still doing Spanish language.
Commentary. Okay, so 7 contracts.
Someone mentioned Bendejo, but then I think he's on a per appearance deal.
Okay. Yeah. At least 7. At least 7 contracts for Serpentico. Yeah, separate contracts for ROH and AEW. Yeah.
Well, no, I would like for him to have a crossover contract of both because then you get paid more.
Oh, okay. Whatever gets my man Serpentico paid. I don't care how.
It's just getting paid. That's fine with me. Speaking of paid, we got a super chat from Bargoff saying, here to support ITW. Thank you. We are better than Busted Open. I was about to say Busted in the Weeds, and I was completely off topic. Kate's Magnificent Hair.
That's a whole... Never mind.
So that's a different website. You pay monthly for that one. And are perfectly reasonable complaints about professional wrestling. Well, here's the thing about Kate. Magnificent Hair. Thank you for your super chat. So the Rock slaps Cody. Cody returns a favor, and SP3 is nowhere to be found.
By the way, what the fuck was The Rock on when he's like,
crack
20 years separate you and your siblings?
Teal having a field day with that. That was so good. She's gonna slap The Rock at WrestleMania. She's gonna turn it. She's gonna work herself into a work, shoot herself into a work.
The Rock wants no smoke, none, with Teal and Brandy. The moment they show up, it's over for that whole damn family.
What do you think those Thanksgivings are like when they're in the same room? That must be the best.
I don't remember if Jensen. I won't say anything just in case. He wants Rock doesn't want that with Teal and Brandy. That none of them do. Heyman, Roman, none of them want the heat with Teal and Brandy. They will ruin all of them. That whole damn tree, they'll chop it down with the edge of their damn hand.
Oh my God. Hold on. Thank you. By the way, that's a Voodoo Child reference. Can you just imagine? Oh my God. So the Rock's out there. He's having his big SmackDown concerts and everyone is watching and he's getting so much heat and it's just piling on. And all of a sudden,
who the hell told you tonight was open mic night, bitch?
Yes.
I've been waiting for that. I've been waiting for it.
It's Friday night. If they do the Rock concert, that is when you bust that out. Open mic night with the Rock. They call it open mic night. And oh God, we're off to the races.
Teal got mad at me once.
Good.
Because she thought I was disrespecting Cody Rhodes.
No, you are. Don't try to play you like you're not.
No. Do you know this story?
No, but whatever you said, you probably were disrespecting him.
No, absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
In this instance, I was not. So here's the story for everybody. I should have brought this up with her when we interviewed her on Spotlight, but I'm deathly afraid of Teal. I'm not saying shit. I don't want her on my bad side. So, I'm not dumb.
Jeremy's like, no Mercedes, no Teal.
I am not stupid.
Staying away from
everybody. It was after the Cody and Andrade match in AEW, which fucking ruled. Absolutely ruled. I did like an article on it because it popped me. I was like, yeah, Cody's going through fire and shit. This is great. Cody Rhodes is the best. So I did an article, and like it was just like straight normal article. I didn't interject an opinion on it or anything like that. Just did the article. I was like, Cody Rhodes defeats Andrade after going through a tape, whatever. And then the article just had the play-by-play and then some like gifs and highlights and stuff. That was it. And Teal responds to it. She quote tweets it, like the article. And it's like, everybody disrespecting Cody Rhodes and the performance he put on. Like, this is the disrespectful article or something. I was like, what'd she say fuck me for? Like, what happened here? Sean's messaging me and is like, what did you do in this article? Like, what happened? I was like, I don't know. It was just pretty straightforward here. And like, I reread it myself. I was like, what did I say? And it was all fine. On the show, I did a show that day and I praised Cody because Cody did some dumb shit and I'm all about doing dumb shit. You want to go through a flaming table? Hell yeah. Love it. So Cody did some dumb shit. I was like, yeah, Cody Rhodes, he loves this business. He wants to give back to the business by going through a flaming table. I was like, I didn't say anything bad about Cody. I loved Cody's performance in this match. That was great. And Teal messages me and like apologizes. It's like, hey, I'm sorry. Cody just like, he takes a lot of heat from people
Literally
online. Yeah. Like he takes a lot of heat from people online. Like I just saw people talking about the article and I just reacted to it. Like she's like, I'm really sorry about that. I was like, no worries. I don't want no smoke with you, Teal. I've seen Teal go after people, including me when I didn't deserve it. I've seen you go after people. I don't want that smoke. I was like, all good. I respect. And when she was on Spotlight, I did mention, I was like, I respect that, like, you defend your brother. I appreciate that. I like that about you. I did not mention you even went after me when I didn't say some shit.
You coward. I was
100%. I don't want the smoke.
Dude loves being the villain until the villain comes after him.
I hope she does not read my Twitter at all, because I've been bad about trolling Cody and trolling Jensen.
I'm
the last thing I want.
Tweets. I'm gonna start sending her tweets, and then after I'm finished sending her tweets, I'm gonna send this guy after you.
The last thing I want is Teal reading these tweets and coming after me, especially if she's on our show again. I don't want that at all. Don't want it. SP3, how you doing, buddy?
I was fine as I was logging on, and then I had to hear Joel talk shit about me. Oh, SP3's not here. That's the first time I ever called a Jewish person the N-word. I was like, really?
Now?
I was like, really? I was like, I'm logging in on my day off. I was like, I was just playing with my kids.
Yeah, well, that's your first mistake. That's your first mistake. Okay, you put them in daycare and you don't look back. You put them in daycare and you do not look back.
I am the daycare.
Sounds like a bad idea. Sounds awesome. Get a YMCA membership.
No, I don't trust those people, man. My kids was born during the pandemic. I don't want my kid. I took my daughter to a preschool for a week. She got sick. I was like, oh, I'm good.
Oh,
I'm not doing that again.
My kid's sick right now at daycare.
Not doing that again. No. Oh no! Because she got my son sick. My son got my wife sick. I was like, nope, not doing that again.
I'm going to tell you a great secret about fatherhood that you certainly should have known by now. You're going to say a lot. They get germs and they dirty, and you know this. I know that. That's right. They're dirty and they get sick. My kid's sick right now.
Four nephews. I got three grandnephews, one grandniece. Man, I've been up around this block. There's nothing new about this father game that I ain't learned from the uncle. No, I'm good. I will take care of my kids. And I'm not always going to be called on to argue with Jeremy on a Monday. So I'm good. I'm going to be good with my kids until September when I put them in an actual preschool. I'm good.
All right, SP3. You're here because we're just going to yell at each other. I don't even know what side you're on. Somebody in our chat mentioned that you got into an argument or the True Heel channel was arguing who the bigger star was between Mercedes Moné and Becky Lynch. What side would you like to take here? By the way, Joel's going to be moved down there. He's the moderator.
Yeah, I was going to move myself there. Thank you.
Right, he's the moderator.
Well, if you ask Jimmy McArab, I am on the side of Mercedes Moné is a bigger star. He believes that Becky Lynch is the bigger star between
that sounds about right.
Becky and Mercedes, even though he's a huge Mercedes fan.
Well, allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly.
If you're a big Mercedes fan, you got to say she's the biggest star out there.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, you're doing it wrong.
Absolutely.
Sorry, Jimmy. All right, so you think Mercedes? You messaged me and you said, I don't want to put words in your mouth here. Said I think Mercedes is a bigger crossover star, but Becky is a bigger wrestling star, right?
Yeah, because I'm not the type of person who just has debates for debate's sake. If I have a debate with
you're on the wrong show right now.
No. If I have a debate with somebody, I will listen to them. That's a key that I see on a lot of debate, that they don't listen to the other person. So I have adjusted my argument due to my debate with Jimmy McArab, that I think that the numbers that he presented as far as Becky Lynch drawing for NXT, drawing for Monday Night Raw, merchandise draw, she was the bigger star in wrestling 5 years ago. Yes, it does attest to Becky Lynch may be the bigger wrestling star, but I think more people outside of the wrestling bubble know Mercedes Moné, so Mercedes Moné is the bigger crossover star.
Was Mercedes Moné on Billions?
I don't even know what that show is.
Was Mercedes Moné Paul Giamatti?
Was Becky Lynch on The Mandalorian, the #1 show on Disney Plus at the time when she was on it?
No,
it's a yes or no question.
It's not a yes or no question.
It depends who promoted it.
I mean, not WWE, but sure.
Becky might have been on that show. She would have had just as big a role as Mercedes did. She might. We don't know. She could have been one of the hooded figures on that show. I didn't watch Mandalorian.
Okay, so what did her role on Billions lead to?
A book.
Oh, that's nice.
Billions of dollars.
That's
was nice. She on Young Rock? Was Mercedes Moné on Young Rock as Cyndi Lauper?
I don't know. That show got canceled.
It's a yes or no question. Was she on Young Rock?
Yes,
as Cyndi Lauper.
She was on the season where they got canceled. So congratulations, Becky.
Is Mandalorian? Did that get canceled? Is that still on?
Now that's still on. Yep.
Is Mercedes? Does she
it
still
got
have a role?
It got a spinoff too. And she's auditioning for a spinoff of her own. Yeah.
Oh, she has to audition? She didn't just get it?
Yeah.
Even though she's already on Mandalorian?
No, it's Disney Plus. It's actually high end. Where's Billions on? What streaming service is Billions on?
Showtime.
Oh. Showtime. I haven't heard that since Shameless was on TV. That got canceled
That's not
5
true.
years ago.
That's not true. You know how I know Showtime / HBO Max or whatever?
No, I know
every Tuesday,
Max.
You came on here blaming me for Winning Time being canceled. And what show? What channel was Winning Time on?
That's on HBO.
Which is HBO Max, which is Showtime. It's all the same thing.
It's HBO. It's just HBO.
It's all the same thing.
If I had cable, I would just turn on HBO, and it's right there.
Wasn't Heels on Showtime?
No, it was on Stars actually.
All the same.
No. Stars and Showtime.
It's all HBO Max.
Nope, sorry.
Stars is way different from Showtime.
It's
Stars
all the
has
same.
Power.
Stars
it's all the same.
Stars has things that are going to last for a couple of years, unlike Billions when Becky Lynch was on there. Unlike Young Rock.
Billions is still
Becky's on there. Is it? I wouldn't even know.
I don't know.
I wouldn't even know. I think it got canceled. I'm pretty sure it got canceled because every show, it seems like every show Becky Lynch is on, y'all get the little clip of, oh, Becky is on this show, and then a couple of months later, that show gets canceled. And
you know what's not canceled? You know what show Becky's on? You know what show? You know what show Becky's on that's not canceled? The longest running weekly episodic show in history, WWE Raw, not canceled.
You know what they should have done? You know what they should have? They should have got Eva Marie to play Cyndi Lauper. Maybe the show would still be on. because it seems like
strong to win with
Becky Lynch is an albatross that just gets shows canceled.
How's New Japan
wasn't on heels? It's like her, CM Punk, AJ Lee. They come on a show, it gets canceled.
How's the IWGP women's division doing without Mercedes? How many women's matches has she been able to get on New Japan?
I know. Without Mercedes Moné, they won't even put women on New Japan. Gato smells
such a big impact.
Gato smells estrogen, and he's like, "Get away from me! You're not Mercedes. Excuse me. I do not. I do not want any of your estrogen. I don't want any of your boobies. I don't want any of your vajayjay." He's like, he doesn't want it if it's not Mercedes Moné. Literally, you're making my point for me. Thank you. I appreciate it.
She made such a big impact that she can't help others. Selfish. That's Mercedes Moné. Selfish.
She helped Mayu Iwatani. Mayu Iwatani got a whole movie when she beat Mercedes. Look at that. Oh my. Yo, she got a whole movie. Becky can't even get a whole movie. And Becky beat Sasha like
Becky is the movie. Becky is the movie.
Becky got a whole book. She got a whole book, but people don't want to read it. She got to do the audio. She doing the audio like she Michael Cole. Speaking like, oh my God. Oh my God.
People want a book from Becky.
Nah, they want the audio.
Mercedes?
They're getting the audio. Why the audio book is sold more than the actual book?
Because they want to hear her voice.
Oh, because they don't want to read her words? Damn.
No, man. You ever
want to hear her voice?
You ever listen to an Irish woman read you a story? It's very soothing.
It is very soothing. It is very soothing. But I would think that she spent all her time writing this soliloquy about her life story that people would want to read it. No, they rather just get an audio book because they don't want to waste time on the killing of trees that Becky Lynch committed to make her damn book. Congratulations, New York Times bestseller. You're no Mick Foley. You're no The Rock. You're no China.
This is more about America than it does anything about Becky Lynch. America has been dumbed down by society, and that's why they want to listen to the audiobooks. That's why this show is in audio format and it's not written. Nobody reads written words anymore. People just want the audio. That's all. That's all.
I mean, she had to kill all them trees to not make any trees.
She makes plenty.
Made all them book. Then why is she underpaid right now? Why are we talking about Becky Lynch?
Everybody in wrestling's underpaid.
Needs a contract extension. They're not paying her enough. Charlotte Flair gets paid more than her. I wouldn't stand for that. At least Mercedes Moné has pride. She has pride enough to be like, Charlotte Flair's paid more than me. I'm not staying here. But Becky Lynch is just, oh, yes. Yes, Triple H, I'll do whatever you want. I'll do whatever you want. I'll do the Irish cheek for you for another contract. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Something about that sounded mildly racist. That's also coming from SP3, so I don't know if I can feasibly allow or deny its presence.
Pride. If she had pride, she would go back to WWE and uplift like you claim she does. She's running.
She had to walk out.
Running from the grind and going to AEW in front of 7,000 fans. That's it. 7,000. WWE does that for a live event. Becky's wrestling in front of 7,000 for a live event. They're building a whole show around Mercedes. A whole show and 7,000? That's it?
They only made 7,000 available.
That's a WWE live event.
She had to do a damn interview telling everybody like, oh, I'm doing big business because these dummies don't want to promote me.
That's the company she's going to go behind. Is a company that can't promote. That was the argument with WWE. Oh, they don't promote her well enough. She's not being promoted well enough. Now she's going right to AEW. What's the argument? They don't promote her well enough. Maybe it's her, SB3.
Joe,
maybe
we can
if two people can't promote it, it's actually her who's not good at the promotion.
I'm going to talk to you for a second here because Jeremy is like one of those people who denied Jesus when Jesus, was crucified for everybody's
Talk
sin.
to me, Joel.
Mercedes Mone decides to leave WWE, and the women's division gets better because of her sacrifice and her sins. And now you got Jeremy up here like Peter, one of the apostles, denying her 3 times. I don't know who Mercedes is. I don't know what Mercedes did. I don't know what Mercedes did. You know the story, story, Joel. It's about a great Jew named Jesus. He was crucified. 3 days later, he resurrected. Did
I ever tell you guys this funny story when I worked in the Jewish community and I had to speak to a bunch of world religion kids in a Catholic school, and somebody flat out asked me and my special my special guest, the person who was with, they asked, so why didn't you guys accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior? He was Jewish too, they said. And we just said, well, in our religion, this is awkward as hell, but we said it anyway. In our religion, we don't believe that Jesus Quaid cut the mustard. And those were the words.
And that's what they say.
That's what we said. Jesus Quaid.
And look at this, and you're doing a podcast with Judas. You're no good. You're no better than them. You're no better than them.
Listen,
Judith Lambert over here denying our.
Yes. Hold on. Let's not forget, I go where I'm paid.
This is true.
Yes, it is.
And if anything, I live in New York. I grew up with a lot of Jewish people. They care about their ducats and their dimes. So I'm with you. I would do a podcast with Judas Lambert as well if I was under this same conditions. But yes, Jeremy.
Nowadays,
Judas, Jeremy, what else do you got to say? What do you guys got to say in defense of Becky Lynch?
Are we comparing? I just want to make sure I'm right on this. Mercedes to Jesus. Is this what we're doing here?
What are you talking about?
I'm asking a question.
I just said what she did. She left the company, sacrificed herself, and to elevate everybody else.
Did it?
Bianca Belair became a bigger star in her absence. Rhea Ripley became
a bigger star in her absence. Mercedes
Becky Lynch got to re-emerge as a star in her absence. All due to Mercedes Moné and her sacrifice. And she chose not to go back because she wanted Naomi to get a chance to get that benefits as well.
We're going to give Mercedes credit.
The Rock is a long gamer. Probably. Well, Mercedes is a long giver. She's been given a long time to the WWE Women's Division.
Naomi's doing really well thanks to Mercedes losing to Tiffany. Good job, Mercedes.
Oh, just wait until Mania. Don't worry.
Did great on that one.
She's going to look great in that black hoodie coming out to defend her man and join him. Don't you worry.
Absolutely. I can't wait. I can't wait. The Jimmy and Naomi act is going to be one of the biggest and best acts post WrestleMania.
This is an accurate depiction of how I've spent part of my time. I have some of them, but I don't have all of them. And I'm also still trying to get the rest of them.
Sacrifice was a good show.
Yeah? I don't know. It
was good.
Listen, you know what? I went in and I asked Switchblade Jay White his opinion, and this is all he said to me.
Sacrifice! 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 Sacrifice!
So I guess he enjoyed it.
Best Jay White promo ever.
The only one that ever existed. He's never cut another one since.
Best Jay White promo. Second best is that Dominion 2022 promo where he just says, I created AEW. I'm the catalyst. The first catalyst promo is one of the best.
People saying that this is a more intense exchange than me and Macklin. Macklin could have thrown me out of a hotel window. He could have had Nick Nemeth come in, break into his hotel, and beat us both up too. So I'm sitting pretty. We're good. Y'all can scream, but we're good. Also,
we only have this type of animosity when we're in different places. We don't have this animosity when we're in the same place.
That is true. When you're singing songs.
Yeah, we just sing songs and take a knee on the floor and then.
Also, hold on. We're just gonna bury Caden casually for a minute. I gave them that clip. Okay, don't get it twisted.
You should be burying Caden for leaving karaoke. This man left.
Cowardly.
Go ahead. You know what? I will let this fly. Y'all can be friends again if you bury Caden for leaving karaoke.
Caden just like randomly popped up. Like I turned around at the bar and I'm like, fuck, Caden's there. The hell is going on?
It was literally like he literally Jeremy tells me and Josh, he's like, oh, Caden's on his way. And then he appeared. It was like you said his name and he appeared.
And then right before karaoke, he just left. Cowardly. Just left right before karaoke.
I think we broke Caden's heart when we said
he
walked in when Sean Ross Sapp walked out. And I saw the disappointment written all over his face when I said that.
I was also, getting food. I was getting popcorn during the scramble match, not the women's match, everybody. I respect the women's wrestling. I don't respect the scramble in AEW. I was getting popcorn during the scramble, and Caden was just in that line too. It was just in the concession lines. Like, where the hell did you come from?
Oh, Caden.
Go, Jason Caden.
Hadn't slept in a day. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah,
now the excuses.
It's not an excuse. See, you're gonna skip out on WrestleMania night too because you're like, I didn't sleep last night. I was so jacked up because Roman Reigns pinned Cody Rhodes in the tag match. Yeah, and then you're gonna show up and you'll leave halfway through, and people are gonna be like, you missed the main event of WrestleMania. I was tired. Sleep in your chair. Sleep at the GCW show. I don't care where you sleep.
I don't know if you could do that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to like sleep at a GCW show. I feel like
difficult.
That's true. Listen, they don't run the most comfortable venues, but every time TNA has come to Toronto, they run Rebel. It's a nightclub. It's got nice seats in the back. Listen, if they could catch me sleeping. But because the lights are turned down low in the back, ain't no chance.
Yeah, Rebel kind of reminds me of Melrose Ballroom in New York. It's kind of like that because that's a bar that they transition into an arena for MLW events mostly.
Got that
and GCW.
Oh yeah, GCW does stuff. Those big TV screens in the back for the entrance.
Yo, I love that. That's one of my favorite TNA events I ever went to was Bound for Glory 2018 in that building.
Wasn't that the same one where they did Hennigan versus Aries and Aries?
Yeah, and Aries walked out. Yo, we walked out. I was like in the third row. We were barking out. It's like, yo, Aries is cute. He just shot on Johnny. He just got up. We were like, yo, where is he going?
We have talked about that match and that finish more on this show than anyone did 5 years ago when it happened. Okay.
To be fair, it wasn't a lot of podcasts back then in those days.
My God. Can we get a couple of super chats in while we're here? I'm gonna reignite some argument. Chi-Town Spurs says, remember when Becky was gonna join the Marvel universe?
Oh, cool story. That lasted real long. Congrats, Becky. You were considered.
There's an NDA in place. Bell Renette sent us another super chat saying, neither person scared the world during the Oscars last night. Scared or scarred, both are very usable terms in this case, but it's okay because you couldn't see him or his junk. Will Chisholm sent a super chat saying, I love how SP3 got smoked for New Japan Booker, not broken for fourth faction, my ass.
Oh, you don't want to get me started. No, because I heard the nonsense that Judas Lambert was up here saying, oh, I'm a fan of House of Torture.
Yeah,
you know which people say that? You know which people say they are fans of House of Torture? People that don't watch New Japan. Don't watch New Japan.
You know that's not true. You know that's not true.
Shut up.
You know that's not true. I don't watch New Japan.
You will skip those House of Torture matches.
Fucking love the House of Torture matches. Chin blocks, a bunch of interference. It's great. You get a great 8-minute, 9-minute, 10-minute match going. All of a sudden, Evil runs out. Dick Togo runs out. They just do a bunch of shenanigans.
I mean, Jeremy, I'll speak for you a second. It's especially great because those 8 or 9 minute matches that were going to be double the time get cut down to 10 minutes because of House of Torture. And Jeremy, very famously, does not like matches that go over 17 minutes. So how do you get out of a
very famously likes bad wrestling?
Well, that's everybody should like bad wrestling.
So
that's part of wrestling.
You've admitted what I've admitted, that I like bad wrestling, and then you're gonna sit here and say I'm a fake House of Torture fan, that I don't watch New Japan. I don't give a fuck about your 5-star matches. I don't care about your 300 million kickouts. I don't care about your strong style wrestling. Don't care about that at all. What I want to see is a nice, crisp 8-minute match with a bunch of bullshit in it to end it. I don't want I don't want your flips and your high spots and your gifts and your hard strikes and your concussions. Don't want any of that shit. Give me all the bullshit. Don't tell me I'm a fake House of Torture fan.
So what was your favorite House of Torture match this week?
Jack Perry and Toru Yano, which I watched this morning. Or Sho, when he got hurt from Naito, Sho not being able to wrestle on the shows, so Jack Perry replaced him in the multi-man matches.
He messed up he messed up the answer to the question, proving that this is just a bit, folks, that he likes bad wrestling. Because if you really like bad wrestling, the obvious answer was Tai Chi and Ren Narita. That match was awful. That was trash.
How are you going to gatekeep my House of Torture fandom when you just said it's the worst thing?
Toru Yano and Jack Perry was actually a funny matchup because Toru Yano is the GOAT. No, Toru Yano is the GOAT.
Because
that's
Jack
right.
Perry
Toru Yano doesn't
be the next IWGP World Heavyweight Champion.
Matches, but at least
I love Yano.
At least with Jeremy, his reasoning for liking House of Torture isn't what everybody has been saying over the past week when I complain about House of Torture. Oh, they got voted the 4th best faction in Japan. I have never heard so many people bragging about a 4th place finish. A 4th place finish. No, it doesn't matter who's ahead of them.
It does. They're wrong.
Praising a 4th place finish.
Is this 4th place in all of professional wrestling or just Japanese or even just
Japanese?
Oh,
who's ahead of them?
Out of factions. Out of factions. I don't care. I don't care. I just don't like the fact that people will say they're the 4th most popular faction in a poll by 2,000 people. Who cares?
Hold on. Was this a Tokyo Sport thing? Because then it's definitely kayfabe.
Exactly. Like, what are we talking? All the awards in Japan are kayfabe. What are we talking about? But I got people ad nauseum. Smart New Japan fans. My good friend Sanal, Kyrian, they have both said that to me. Like, oh, the Western fans don't like them, but they are the 4th best faction. Who cares? Fourth, smartest kid in special class. Who cares?
Yeah, I don't care that they're the 4th best faction. They should be number 1, first off. I don't know who's ahead of them, but those people are wrong. No, that calling me a fake House of Torture fan.
You're our fake House of Torture fan.
I just gave you the reasons why I'm a House of Torture fan. I just named you House of Torture storylines. I just named you a match that I watched this morning.
No, you just named matches that happened this week.
I mean, the story is that Sho is hurt and Jack Perry is replacing him in the multi-man matches during the New Japan Cup. Jack Perry joining them as well. And I mentioned Jack Perry and Yano, which happened this morning.
That was such a bad move. Why did Jack Perry have to join House of Torture?
So he can make it.
Why couldn't he just join the War Dogs?
No.
Why?
No. It's great.
Real stars join House of Torture like Evil.
And that's how you catapult from the number 4 best faction out there to number 2. Don't ask me who number 1 is because I probably
they'll probably drop down to 5.
No. When Jack Perry either makes it to the final of the New Japan Cup or at least to the finals of his bracket, that'll catapult them up.
He's making it to the finals. Shingo and Jack Perry in the finals.
I think it's going to be
Perry should win, and he should win the title. He should beat Naito.
Oh, no. Go to Windy City Riot, have Mox win the title, and then have Jack Perry beat Mox for the title at Forbidden Door. I don't know what the timelines match up. I don't give a shit either. But the point is, Jack Perry winning the New Japan, winning the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship is where this goes over.
The winner of the New Japan Cup gets their shot before Windy City Riot.
That's a dumb
Sakura Genesis is on the same day, probably like a couple of hours before NXT Stand and Deliver. You got Stand and Deliver, Sakura Genesis, and WrestleMania on the same day.
You know what? I'll be fine with all of that if Jack Perry wins the title. And then we can all celebrate and enjoy whatever NXT does.
And we're going to
WWE does.
And we'll rechristen them to House of Perry.
I like that more than House of Torture. Hey, Kate.
Hey, I wanted to come on here. I just checked my stopwatch and that was like more graps than all of SmackDown had by a mile. That was a time limit draw in the Tokyo Dome. So 7 stars to you guys. I just wanted to say congratulations for TV match of the year, SB3 versus Jeremy. I'm blown away, and I'm an honest person, and I wanted to retract my statements earlier in the show when I said there was not enough wrestling on this morning's episode of In the Weeds. So you guys proved me wrong, and no commercial breaks either. I thought was a really inspired choice. So I just wanted to say, according to my stopwatch, that was real graps for a really long time. And we're going to be talking about this episode of In the Weeds for a while, I think. Really proud of the work today.
Look at the sweat. Look at the sweat glistening.
No,
it's
about drive. It's about power, SG3.
Yeah,
I see you.
Yeah. Now I got to run like 30 minutes worth of ads. So
I'll get out of here while you guys go to commercial. But I wanted to say kudos to you. This is well deserved. This is awesome chants in the chat.
Justified.
I couldn't agree more. Justified. This is awesome chats in the chat. So thank you guys so much for the classic that we just got to see. I appreciate everything that you guys put on the line for this one.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Carrie, SB3s are the best match.
Yeah, right. I was born to do this. This is what I do. They literally this whole started from a debate or argument that I had on another channel. So that's what I do.
We need to find a way to get your microphone not to clip as much as it does. You need to
It's because I talk too loud.
Well, I'm aware.
It has a volume. It has a volume thing. And
there's a limiter on it.
Yeah, when I go up to that certain volume, it'll
You want to hit the limiter, or you want to blow out your microphone? Take your pick.
Lately, House of Torture has been doing that a lot to my microphone.
That doesn't shock me whatsoever.
It's just like I'm excited about everything in wrestling except for New Japan, and it's all because of one group.
The best group in the world, 4th best. Fuck out of here.
4th best in a country, not even 4th best in the world.
They're the best in the world. Who's better than House of Torture?
Judgment Day. Imperial.
Oh, can't wait for them to come out on Raw and be like, "We run Monday Night Raw."
Do you think they're going to cheer for Dominic Mysterio for getting married?
Judgment Day,
big wife guy Dominic
has
Mysterio
to use piped in crowd noise to make it seem like people care about
Mysterio.
them. Don't need that with House of Torture.
Breaking kayfabe,
House of Torture, you hear the crowd. You hear the crowd, and the collective groan. You hear the collective groan when they come out and they ruin a match.
Silent. It's not. They don't even.
That's what they're going for. That's what they're going for. The groan and the silence. People are like, "Oh shit, House of Torture has ruined another match," and I'm like, "Hell yeah, House of Torture has ruined another match."
It's like, yo, Jeremy couldn't even say that joke without a smile coming across his face mid sentence through. He's like, groan.
Facts only.
Silence.
The crowd groans and then goes silent. But that's the reaction they're going for, SB3.
Hey, I mean, I'll give them credit for it. I'll give them credit for it because they definitely get what they are wanting every single time. And like literally, I woke up for that show, I think it was yesterday, and I was like, I turned on the show, House of Torture nonsense immediately. I was like, why am I doing this to me? Why am I doing this to myself?
Couple more super chats, shall we? Speedpunk someone saying, all I know is The Rock's going to take too much time up on Monday Night Raw down in front of what? Raw down and Friday Night Smack Raw. Oh my God, that's very confusing. CM Punk, by the way, has been advertised for the Chicago show March 25th. They've opened up the entirety of the Allstate Arena, so they'll probably have that special stage for Monday Night Raw that night. He's going to come out. He's going to announce that he is the host of WrestleMania. He's going to be right there for Drew McIntyre versus whoever he's facing. Seth Rollins. I listened to, so people know that I listen to a few different post shows, and I listened to the SmackDown post show, not ours, another company. And it was 2 people filling in, and they were just like, I don't even think that Seth Rollins has a match yet on WrestleMania card. They were like, well, now he has a tag match, but I don't think he has another match. I'm just like, I need somebody to call in and say something.
Yes, someone read it or something.
And these people aren't dumb. These people are not dumb. These are people that I respect talking about the program. And I was like, you can't be that lost right now, WrestleMania season at least. Like you can get away with the shit in May, but I don't think you can get away with this now.
Joe just described me watching some post shows. Not from Fightful, Real Heat, or like any of the big ones, but sometimes I watch these post shows and I'm just like, did y'all watch this show? Did y'all watch the show?
No, just looking for that singular. And now they're just like, oh, our views are through the roof. Well, it's like they're through the roof because StreamYard messed up how the views are counted, but that's not important. Will Chisholm said to Super Chat saying the only thing Evil's done right in his life was dating Io Shirai, Io Sky. Why did they put every title on him? Hey, listen, wrestling. That's all. Wrestling.
Yes.
Jeremy, anything to add about wrestling?
No, wrestling sucks.
It does. And for some reason, Caden sent a super chat saying, ready for the Bowen single run. Yeah, I saw what's going on Twitter. Max Caster's being an idiot. The day is long.
I can't wait for Jay White to recruit Bowens into Bullet Club Gold, and then they just cut Max Caster and Daddy Ass.
Oh, and for the record, Kate, I listened to ours when Sean's around.
Oh, fire!
Whoopsie. Love you, Kate. Alex is also great. Alex Cardoza, he's great. Kate's. Anyway, what else happened?
Yo, SmackDown got like the best post shows across the world, man. Like you got Alex and Kate. I do a whole podcast with a guy whose gimmick was he hates black people, so I must imagine that it must be difficult doing a podcast with me. No, but Dutch Mantel loves me, so I must be like the person he goes to other people and be like, I got one black friend. That's me. But yeah, that you got that. Body Slams got Stephanie and Miss Chrissy Love. So yeah, it's a lot of good ones, a lot of good choices for y'all.
Yeah, but like then there's us and this show. So like if you can wait till Monday, then you can get a SmackDown post show on Monday within the weeds. And Cody slapped The Rock, and that's all you need to know. Look, we can do a SmackDown rundown in like 30 seconds. This particular episode of SmackDown, we could do it in like 10. Karrion Kross lost.
Did he?
No, he did by DQ. By DQ.
You got to think about it.
You had to think about it. I was like, did he? But it was DQ. It was a DQ.
But we got it. Naomi, I don't know, was there?
All I know is that The Rock, Roman, and Cody and Seth segment lasted 30 minutes and only had 8 minutes of talking.
That's what you do.
That is quite astounding. That is quite astounding to me. That the entrances were more than 2/3 of the time they were allowed.
Can't believe they have Cody come through the crowd and they didn't have Seth do the same behind him. Could have done the Shield reference. They did nothing. Very upset about that.
Seth wasn't behind him though. They were on opposite.
They could have.
Oh,
so they could have.
Okay.
And then Kurt Angle could have been behind them, and it could have been a real Shield reunion.
I said that on Friday that Kurt Angle should be part.
Nobody heard you say it, Kate.
Nah.
Nobody heard you say it.
SP3, do you want to plug anything?
Check out True Hill Heat YouTube channel. I'll be live later, probably with Sober Guy JJ. Most likely not, because he usually doesn't show up. He's not Jimmy McRae. Jimmy McRae shows up, and I have a hard time keeping him in control. Sober Guy JJ just doesn't show up, and I have a hard time doing a show on my own. So check it out, 3:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Collision Discourse, our review of AEW Collision.
Bye, buddy. See you tomorrow.
I will see you tomorrow. Thanks for having me, Joel. Judas.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Called me a fake House of Torture fan.
You've been having problems with a lot of houses today. You got to get your house fixed.
My house is in good order, honestly.
Yeah? All right. How's the basement?
How's what?
How's the basement?
No, fine. I think.
Sure. Yeah, you gotta have a really strong basement in order to keep up the house.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Foundation's good. We're all good.
All right. As long as it's not a house of cards, we're okay. Anyway, CM Punk's going to be on Monday Night Raw 2 weeks from now. Good for him. He's going to fill out the Chicago arena, the Allstate Arena. They're going to have that pared down set that they do when they sell out shows, which is nice. And he's going to be the WrestleMania host. Cool. Cool. Cool.
I don't know if he's gonna be the WrestleMania host. I really don't.
Who else would it be?
Well, I guess they do.
Sheamus? Let's go. Sheamus. Spike.
I don't know. Punk like hosting WrestleMania feels weird.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
the best
it feels
part.
really weird.
I would love the idea of CM Punk just happy to be here, happy to host WrestleMania.
I guess like show that you're playing nice and everything. You host WrestleMania.
They can have
That's weird.
Jason Kelsey. Now,
Oh, that'd be great.
Retired. They've already
would
been like, hey, come
great.
over back to your house and come and host WrestleMania. I'm sure he would do it for a pretty penny. I'm sure he'll have a spot, like not a wrestling spot. But I'm sure he'll have like an appearance spot. Why wouldn't he?
If he wants it, like
Yeah.
WWE wants him.
You know who should be hosting the show? Donna Kelsey, Performance Center
fantastic.
athlete. Donna Kelsey should be absolutely hosting it.
That'd be great. I would love that too.
I'm all for it. Would you want to co-host WrestleMania if we were asked?
Yeah, I want that payday.
Yeah, I would actually love that too. People just being like, "No, I'm a journalist and I have certain responsibilities." I'm like, I have none, and pay me now.
About that.
Yeah, I will take your money. All I do is talk about it. I don't live about it. So let's go.
I will not be able to read all of those comments online with the stack of money in my face.
Can't see you beyond my money.
So
To the Jets. That's going to be part of my agreement, by the way, is that they helicopter me in. Not even a jet. They have to helicopter me in.
I respect that.
Yeah. Did you know that the public transit in the city is not very good? At least if you're staying out by the airports. This is for everyone to know, because I was asked separately by a friend of ours who's on the who pipes in on the show, I should say. It was asking about getting back and forth, and so I reached out to a friend who lives in Philly, and he was like, "Hey, there's barely any public transit in Philly, and if you're staying out by the airport, there's even less. So this is a warning. If you haven't already rented a car for Philly and you're staying out by the airport in a hotel and you're going to WrestleMania, rent a car. Probably your best bet. And then find a lot that's really cheap near Lincoln Financial Field, a little bit further, so that you gotta figure out how far can I walk and how much do I want to pay, and find that balance and pay. Okay, get ready for that. So I'm just warning everybody now. That's WrestleMania.
I'm not going to Philly, so I don't know.
Neither am I.
Okay.
Kate's saying it's not that bad. Kate, who are you going to trust? Me, who just asked one guy, or you, who's gone there once or twice?
Joel, I have to step away for a second.
Do you have to?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Good
luck.
Oh no, this seems bad. All right, so it's just me now. I don't know if Kate's going to show up and then try to chew me out for a minute. That's fine. But yeah, there you go. Who wants to go to Philly? I would go to Philly for WrestleMania if I was going to go cover the show, but it's not really what I want to do this year. Our numbers are going up, so that means clearly we're doing a good thing with Jeremy being out for now. Yeah, I would like to do In the Weeds live WrestleMania week. That's what they should be giving us the opportunity to do. Hey, how about a couple of years from now, we are doing In the Weeds live on this WrestleMania row we're hosting. No Busted Open, just us carrying the load for a good solid 90 minutes. And Jeremy sticks around. SP3's back.
I was listening in, and then I saw Judas freaking treated you like you treated Mercedes and Jesus.
Just walked away.
Just bails on you. So I came back. For my dear friend, because as we all know, the blacks and the Jews are very close.
That is accurate. I mean, well, most of the time. There's been a few instances.
We know how it is to be, persecuted.
Yeah, that's true. We do know how it is. Hey, speaking of people who get persecuted all the time, Kate's
look at that.
This is turning into the best episode we've ever done. So what do we want to talk about?
Well, Rock slap Cody. I see it's in the title. I know that you already talked about that.
I mean, we gave it like 30 seconds because let's face it, I was just trying to mess with people.
Wow.
I know. I know. I put the same thing in the title for True Hill Heat this week. It worked gangbusters, so I understand. I understand the vibes. But no, I thought that segment was actually good for Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins actually stood out and didn't feel like the fourth guy in this thing, like he's felt pretty much this whole entire buildup.
As the gal on here, I can only be here for 2 minutes and 24 seconds. So I just I want, if you have any questions for me specifically, like get them in now, because it's just me for like 2.5 minutes, and that's all I got, because these people got to walk. You know, see them enter.
Oh no, I just got a text. This is now Evolution. You get 12 minutes and 52 seconds.
Wow.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Well, thank you for negotiating backstage and pulling for me, SP3. I really appreciate it, because you get it. But I actually agree with you about the.
Hold on, I just got a text. This is more like Empower 2, and we're out of time. We're not doing it again.
Felt like Sting's final speech. Damn.
That was like Sting's last match. It was a great start, and then all of a sudden we ran out of time.
That's it. That's it.
No, we should have had Kate say, "I'm a risk taker."
Oh wait, Jeremy has to make his entrance, which means the women have to go.
That was an accurate depiction of things happening.
The hell is going on?
Oh,
you nailed on him, Judas.
All right, do you want to know why?
I was told why. It was very funny.
Oh, okay.
But you can still let the people know if you'd like to.
So
like some salacious moment.
You know what? You know what, Jeremy? You took a risk, and I'm a risk taker too.
Just is SP3 okay?
You know the answer to that question. You've known it for a long time.
So the wife messages me. We're redoing our yard and everything, and the wife messages.
Your house really is in order.
Yeah. She messaged me. Is like, the yard people are there. I need to move my car. They didn't give us a heads up that they were coming or anything, so I had to go out and move my car right fast so they could start working on the yard. Very stupid reason. But I didn't want to wait another 20 minutes for the show to end, so I didn't want them like sitting around. Again, it's been like, I don't know why they're here today. There's snow all on the ground and everything. Again, they didn't give us a heads up about any of this, but whatever. That's why I had to step away. Everything's fine. I simply had to move my car.
Listen, if this is your first time watching this show, I apologize. It's all downhill from here.
Yes, it's snowing West Oval. Like, that's why I don't know why they are here today.
Schedules. We scheduled them. That's all.
They weren't even scheduled. They gave us no heads up that they were coming today. If that was the case, I would have moved that. I would have moved my car earlier. But they had no heads up that they were coming today.
So
they
Ohio
showed up.
Awful. What is wrong? What is wrong with Ohio?
Well,
we can count the ways.
This show's only 2 hours,
and we got stuff to do in an hour after this.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So we okay. Before SP3 came on and we did whatever that was, the Danielson stuff. So yeah, I kind of came to the realization that the next time he wins a pay-per-view singles match is going to be All In, because I don't think Will Ospreay is beating Danielson at Dynasty.
Forbidden Door,
I think, is going to be a multi-man match. I think it's going to be either a CMLL thing. Well, either way, I think it'll be like Bryan doing a Blackpool Combat Club something. Him and Yuta.
I don't know. They ain't got many Danielson matches left. Forbidden Door might be him and Zach 3.
Could they do that? Yeah. Are they? Is New Japan for sure going to be a part of it? That's the other question. It feels like
Forbidden Door.
Yeah, because it's them and CMLL as well. So it'd be a 3.
That's the show. CMLL and New Japan have
Fantastica Mania.
Yeah, so they're on good terms. No, I think.
No, but I'm saying you combine the 3 and do AEW,
right?
New Japan and CMLL.
Yeah, I think it's Zach and Bryan at Forbidden Door. He
should win. He wins again.
Zach might win because Bryan wanted to do 2 out of 3 falls, so Zach might win. Let me complain about Bryan Danielson, because I was going to. I complained earlier, but let me complain about this.
Wow, nitpicking Jeremy Lambert over here.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, okay.
100%.
Just making sure.
Bryan beats Shane Taylor, good win, fine. I'll find dandy. And Will Ospreay comes out, elevated. We so elevated. Anyway,
Wow,
it's a good
was
song.
Hell of a way to sing it.
Yeah. Oh, spray. Spray. SP3 was super into that entrance at Revolution. He was
He was.
Hype. Yeah. He was so hype. It's a good.
You might even say he was so elevated.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't want him to go there. It's a good song though. It's a good song. So anyway, Will Ospreay comes out and they're like, I'm the best in the world. I'm the best wrestler in the world. I want to prove it against you. And Danielson's like, yeah, I'm the measuring stick around here. You want to prove you're the best? You got to face me. And I'm like, didn't you lose to Eddie Kingston, Bryan Danielson? How are you the best wrestler in the world when you're losing to that bum, Eddie Kingston? This is why Bryan Danielson shouldn't lose. This is why the best in the world thing is stupid to me. What does that mean? You just have really good choreographed wrestling matches? That's dumb. I don't care who the best is at choreographed wrestling. I want to know who the best is based on wins and losses. That's what Samoa Joe says, right? Bring your record, bring your reputation. That's what we want. Wins and losses. Not, oh, I had this really great match, but I lost. Gives a shit. Are you the Los Angeles Lakers with your moral victories? You know what? The Denver Nuggets, you guys are the best in the world. You proved it.
This is a Tuesday conversation. To get to the point here.
I'm taking shots at SP3 because
I can see that.
Yeah. But we played you really tough. We're one of the best teams in the world because we played the champions really tough. We've lost 8 straight to you. But you know what? We played you really tough. Those were 5-star games, everybody. The ratings were sky high when the Lakers played the Nuggets. You lost. You're not the best. You're like a 9th seed right now. Doesn't mean shit. Bryan Danielson, you lost. You lost to the bum, Eddie Kingston. He's not the best. Eddie Kingston's better than him. Just because Bryan Danielson played kind of well, he lost. It's dumb. I don't like it.
Anyway, so Danielson loses to ZSJ at Forbidden Door. That's June. July, there's probably no pay-per-view. And then we're already in August.
He should beat Will Ospreay. What's the argument for him losing to Will Ospreay?
Ospreay versus Swerve at All In.
He can't take a loss in April.
Not if they want to have undisputed Ospreay going into the match.
No,
Hey, I'm just throwing things out there. That's all.
No.
Well, anyway, next time that Danielson wins on pay-per-view, it looks like it's going to be All In, and that's the end of August. So you're going to be in hell for the summer.
I'm not going to watch.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Because I don't care about these cool matches. People get so caught up in 5-star matches, 6-star matches, 7-star matches. Oh, shit. More stars. I don't care. Give me a crisp 12 to 18-minute match or give me 10 minutes or less with House of Torture interference. That's all I want.
Can we get just a whole Forbidden Door show of House of Torture influence?
Good.
They just get into every single match, whether they're involved or not, they're involved.
Bryan Danielson should join House of Torture.
Let's go.
They need win. Because House of Torture, nothing but winners.
Well, I mean, he might get DQ'd. That's not winning.
Wins. I love the This Is Your Life segment. It's great.
Yeah, only went 15 minutes over, unlike this past Friday where they only went the entire show over. So Cody slapped The Rock.
Yeah, because The Rock was talking some bullshit with no facts. I tried to give The Rock facts on Friday about Dallas, Texas, and their crack rate and their meth rate and everything. Instead, he tried to use birth certificates, which he didn't have his facts correct on.
What is it with people not getting birth certificate facts properly in place? Listen, what if he had just talked about flying out to Cancun instead? They were in Texas.
Okay.
I'll let the people who know. Either way, Cody comes out, slaps The Rock for saying shit, and says that was for Teal. He didn't say that, but let's just face it. At this point, he may as well just come out and say that was for Teal. And then Cody is the baby face. I don't know. I like that he got his heat back, at least with the he got to 50-50 The Rock when it comes to the slapper around the world. He didn't get him as hard as The Rock did, though. Rock's got those muscles on muscles in his hands. Cody's got them.
He's got the mana running through him.
That's right.
Cody doesn't have any of that.
Are you trying to say that The Rock is just made out of his liquor?
I mean, maybe.
Oh, okay. I was making sure. Anyway, so that was good. That was fun. That was a moment that happened on SmackDown, and we've dedicated actually a good amount of time to it.
Yeah, that cross-dresser line wasn't necessary from Roman.
Nope. Didn't like it, didn't need it, but I also am not going to run around the internet and be like, oh, it was so out of place. No, it shouldn't have been done.
Just like Rock calling Seth Cody's girlfriend in that backstage promo.
Yeah, it's just as dumb. Sorry, I'm just not gonna oversell it because people are expecting everyone to take rage to it, and
you gotta cancel everybody, Joel.
Yeah, no, I don't need to. I just need to say that was stupid and they didn't need to do it, and that's that. Do I firmly believe that either of these men truly believe what they're saying? No, I don't think they believe that. They just said something, dated and boring is a pretty good way to put it. Saw it and I just said, didn't need that. Stupid. That's fine. And also, listen, there are others who are saying, oh, he's just playing up the way that The Rock was in 98 and, he's not evolving. It's but he is evolving because some of the stuff he's saying, he's straddling a line. So, if you want to talk about the art and the artist, there is an argument there, but I can easily just be like, yeah, it wasn't for me. I thought it was silly. I don't think they need to run into that. And they decided to. So I'm not the writer. I'm not Brian Gewirtz. I'm the other Jew.
I'm glad Cody slapped them. I guess this tag team match is official. It was a good segment. It was too short, but otherwise it was a good segment.
Yeah, it could have been an hour and a half and we would have gotten a much better situation.
I need The Rock to... Bless The Rock, man. Dude just goes. Doesn't give a fuck. Off is a direction that The Rock is not fucking.
That's going to be on tonight's show, I hope. Oh, imagine if The Rock showed up on Monday. That would just be fantastic.
Cody should come out. The referee should screw him over. Cody should be like, on is the direction that referee tried to fuck.
I was trying to remember what the end of that statement was, and you put it in there. It was good stuff.
I got it. I had it right.
Oh, you got it. It was fun. Yeah. It was good stuff. Anyway, is there anything else from the weekend that you want to get into? Because we got a couple minutes left, and then we got to do the thing where we talk to a wrestler interview.
We can go over.
We can. I would like to make lunch and prepare for our interview. By the way, if you're in the Fightful Select Discord, Jeremy did make reference to it. We can say it here. We are scheduled to interview Garrett Borden, aka Surfer Son of Sting. We're doing that offline. So Jeremy and I are going to be doing that this afternoon. If you have questions, leave them in the Weeds channel on our Discord. We're not going to be taking them from chat right now. We want them in our Discord. So if you're a Fightful Select member, you can go into our Discord, ask questions about Surfer Son of Sting, aka Garrett, the one who plays Destiny 2, for those who were confused, the one who was dressed up as Blonde Top Sting. He's going to be joining us for a conversation this afternoon. So if you have questions, get it there. Anything else to add to that conversation before we move on?
No, I'm looking forward to talking with Garrett in about an hour from now.
Yeah, Ryan wants to know if he'll beat me up. Listen, I didn't say we'll answer all the questions or we'll ask all the questions.
I'm going to ask him the lyrics, if he knows the lyrics to Man Called Sting.
Do we want to ask Garrett if he does this or he does that?
I do kind of want to ask that as well. Like, do you do this? Do you do that? I feel bad for these kids who, they've obviously been around wrestling their whole life. But they don't do these interviews and stuff. And now, they've done some interviews with different people. But now they're doing an interview with us.
I don't want to, and that's the thing. I don't want to talk. I don't want to be one of those outlets that's just like, tell me about your dad. I want to ask questions.
I'm a big Sting fan.
Well, yeah, but I want to ask someone.
What if I wore the mask? I got the mask over there. What if I wore that?
Stop it.
Just did the whole interview with the mask
Just the
on.
whole interview, and he'll be like, "You can't be serious. What if we all paint our face? Oh, can you do it again?"
I don't know if I got enough time.
Yeah, we'll do a partner promo punch in the face, and it'll be the 3 faces of Sting. Anyway, we got a lot of stuff.
How pissed was your dad after Starrcade 97?
I need you to go. This is going to become a therapy session with him. All right, so our 20-minute interview became a 4-hour masterclass in therapy. So get ready for that. In the Weeds will be a 4-hour show on Wednesday.
Hulk Hogan, what an asshole.
All of a sudden it turns into this big Zoom call with all these. It's going to be like that episode of The Bump where RJ City almost got a job. Oh God. Anyway, Monday Night Raw is tonight. They have the gauntlet announced.
So everybody seems to be leaning towards Gable here.
I'm not.
I think Sammy.
I think Sammy's going to win. I think Gable's going to start his turn to be a heel. I think it's going to be Gable being so pissed off that he couldn't do whatever he was going to do next.
I don't know.
The photo they have on the website for Gable, they got to get rid of that.
By the way, I do think Sammy should win. I do think Sammy should win. I do think Sammy and Gunther is a really good story, and fans will be into that. They've babyfaced Gable so hard, though, which is good. I'm not saying this is bad. I don't know if there's a worry that the fans turn against Sammy, but they're positioning it enough to where it might be a worry.
That's fine, but like, sorry to say, Sammy right now positioned to a regular viewing audience of WWE who are not online 24/7. They know and love Sammy more than they do Chad Gable. Like, you can come after me in the comments, sure, I don't care, but like, it's true. WrestleMania main eventer Sami Zayn versus Gunther kind of raises more stock than Chad Gable, who his main complaint about getting a match is that you made my daughter cry, is not exactly the story I'm very invested in. I know that I'm like making it very,
Pearl hates kids,
simple.
confirmed.
Can confirm, have my own, do not like them. But the point is, I've met yours, do not like any of them. There's a lot of them, do not like them either. That's not true. You're all fine. Anyway, no, the Gable thing is just, the story there to me is just, I want to get my win because he made my daughter cry. And I know I'm making that very basic, but like, that's the way it sounds when Gable starts. And that's okay. Sure. Some people can latch onto that feeling. I get it. But for Sammy, it's just it's a bigger name. It's a bigger feeling that it would be a bigger win for him to take the title off of Gable. Now take the title off of Gunther. Now with Gable, this is again, conversations about man making title making man. Whoever wins that title from Gunther should be made because of it. Gable is the one who stands a bigger chance of being made, I should say, winning that title. But then what happens? Same thing that happened last year with the tag titles. Sammy and KO won, and then what happened?
But that's a dumb argument of then what happened. Then you book better. That's what happened.
Well, that's the thing. I agree with that. But history has told us that then what happens hasn't exactly been a lot of WWE's, planning.
Yeah, but then what happens when Sammy wins? You can then what happens anything.
Argument. No, it's the same argument. I'm making it's the same argument. It's what happens. The moment is bigger for Gable. The loss is lesser for Sammy in terms of winning the Intercontinental Championship and what happens next. Because people already associate Sammy with a title, including the Intercontinental Championship, which he has won. And Gable, they do not, because Gable has not won a singles championship on main roster WWE. I don't even think he's won the 24/7 title, has he? I don't want to start that conversation. It doesn't count.
Sorry, R-Truth.
He's fine. He's the only 24/7 champion.
Did they do a triple threat? Can it
No.
be Gable and Sammy at the end, and then it's double pinfall?
No.
German suplex. Gable hits the German, both shoulders down, because Gable runs the gauntlet more or less. He goes through the most people, but he's so exhausted at the end. Chaos Theory suplex, both shoulders down.
They've done the triple threat last year at Mania for the Intercontinental Championship. That was great. this year needs to be one-on-one, and it needs to be the conclusion of the Gunther Intercontinental Championship reign, in my opinion. It's time. And it's time to move Gunther up as a result of that, because like we said on this show, he can lose the title, and he's one of those times where he can move up to the World Championship and have a actual reason to, because he lost once after 600 and something days. You can go. You can get your heat back too by beating up your guys and being like, you cost this for me, and then you just move on to the next championship he's going after. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at with those. Sammy winning is just trying to turn the Intercontinental Championship into that workhorse title still, like keeping it as that.
Gable winning isn't?
I don't know. Gable doesn't always feel that way with Gable, but that's just because he's not always on the show. And again, you can change that with booking. This is all about presentation again. Right now, Sammy has been that guy. Sammy has in the past has been that guy, so it's easy to go back to that guy. Could you make Gable and try to do the same thing? Absolutely. I don't know if that is the plan for them or if they want to give it to the guy that's already established.
I think the story with Sammy is good. The Gable story is good too. I don't think they can choose wrong here. I really don't. Fans are behind Gable. Fans are behind Sammy. Don't rule out a triple threat.
I don't want to rule it out, but I think it would be in poor taste to do a triple threat.
Poor taste?
Poor planning, poor booking. What do you want to say?
Most disgusting promotional tactic is going to be Gable and Sammy triple threat against Gunther at WrestleMania.
Can't do that. But yeah, I would like to see, like Big Man Dog is pointing out that Sammy winning also makes sense because it keeps the Intercontinental Championship strong. On the other hand, I'll give you this. If Gable wins, it's still strong. It's just not going to be as strong as, say, the World Heavyweight Championship around, let's say, Drew McIntyre's waist, which should be a much stronger championship than it has been presented as over the last couple of months. You know, between Seth's getting injured, and then we've talked about this before. This is kind of a victim of circumstance here. He gets injured. You got Drew on the ascent. And then Punk gets injured as well. That was the other side of it. So, like, there's a good story there, but the title hasn't meant nearly as much. The Intercontinental Championship story is about the Intercontinental Championship, and it's about the guy who's held on to it for so long, whereas the World Heavyweight Championship, it should have been about the guy who's been having workhorse like matches and championship reign, but unfortunately the injury kind of changed the entire trajectory of what this match was going to be like at WrestleMania had it been Seth and Punk, or even now with Seth and Drew.
I mean, Drew's going to win the title at WrestleMania.
Certainly feels that way. And that's okay too.
Hopefully. I don't think they can go wrong with Gable or Sammy tonight. I'm very intrigued by this gauntlet match. And we'll see how it plays out. I don't rule out the double pin. Don't rule it out, folks. And if it's correct, victory lap. Like my guys in House of Torture. Nothing but W's. Nothing but dubs.
You'll be running up and down the house. And I think Gable's going to come in. Gable's going to win everything. Sammy's going to come in. That's going to be the end of it. Sammy's going to beat Gable. Gable's going to go on that amazing run and then fall short. And that's going to be the beginning of his downfall.
All right. We'll see.
Downfall being turning heel. That's what I'm getting to. Anyway, Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch have a match. Nia Jax probably get involved, beat up both women, set up a triple threat. Yeah.
Why?
Because that seems to be the way they're doing this shit.
But what are you going to do? Just a triple threat next week and then Becky wins so she can pin Nia so Liv doesn't take a loss. But that doesn't solve anything.
Unfortunately, but that's exactly what you're laying out is the thinking. And it's not good, but that's kind of where I see it going too. It's Becky getting another big win, insurmountable odds, overcoming the odds to get to Rhea Ripley, who
fuck all that.
Is going to beat Becky anyway.
Here's what should happen. They have a good competitive match. Becky beats her. That's it. You're not going to beat Becky before she faces Rhea. Just Becky wins. And she proves, you want to talk all this shit. You want to say you deserve this opportunity, all this stuff. Well, you did well. But I guess your best wasn't good enough. She just beats her. Sorry, Liv Morgan fans. I like Liv, but the match is Becky and Rhea.
What if they make that triple threat as a We all deserved a shot, and then they do a number one contendership match for the match that's already got a number one contender.
If you want to have Nia come in and I guess cost Liv, that's stupid too, though. Just Becky wins.
I agree. It should just be that way. Someone's actually a House of Torture fan.
Yeah, me.
Yeah, there you go. That's good. Yeah.
Oh,
Proud of
Big
you.
Man Dogs? Yeah, let's go.
Let's go. And the World Women's
I don't joke.
Women's World Champions is what they're calling them. Someone screwed up the copy on WWE.com. Tag titles. Women's tag titles on the line.
Oh.
Baszler and Stark versus the Kabuki Warriors. Congratulations to your Kabuki Warriors for successfully defending those tag titles.
Yeah, I assume Kabuki
Does Bayley
wins.
finally get involved?
Maybe. It's a weird match to get her involved, though, with Shayna and Zoe.
I agree. This is a Bayley has no friends is the story they're telling. Bayley's only friends are Paramore.
It'd be great if Hayley Williams came out and like smashed guitar over Asuka's head. It'd be fantastic.
Could happen at WrestleMania. Who knows? You got downstate. night one, it's down, or night one, it's whatever. Both bands either night, but then I realized they're probably both on night two. You can have Paramore beat up Bayley's nemesis on one night, and then downstate beat up the Bloodline on night two.
I got a feeling if you sing this loud enough, you will sing it back to me. I've got a feeling if I sing this loud enough, you will sing it back to me.
Anyway, that's all that's set for Raw tonight. Those three things. I feel like that gauntlet match is going to take up a long time, which is fine. We are out of time because we got to get ready for an interview. Jeremy, anything to plug?
Joel, no, never.
Wrestling Made Me Cry debuted last night on our channel. Big ups to Auntie Collins and of course to Kylie making her return to the channel. They had a good time. They had a good show. Go check it out. Subscribe to us here at Fightful Overbooked. Leave us a thumbs up. Last things, Jeremy, to say?
Yeah, shout out to Kylie and Auntie Collins. They rule. Glad Kylie's back on the channel. Glad Auntie Collins is with her. Go watch that show.
Wonderful.
I talk like about good things in wrestling. So like
it's great for a Sunday and a Monday commute.
Yeah.
But then watch us because we're,
Yeah, if you want people who aren't so negative about wrestling, go watch that show.
That's right. Wait, we're not negative, are we?
I don't think we're negative. I just don't care about wrestling.
Wow. What's this show about? I'm going to go have an existential crisis and we'll be back on Wednesday. I think I'm Actual Pearl. JOELPEARL, ladies, gentlemen, friends, beyond the binary. That one I know for sure. We'll see you on Wednesday, maybe? Oh, God.